Ladies and gentlemen, law, the existence of law as such, is something that confuses people. Some people, anarchists especially. They don't know what law is. They think that you could allow voluntary little companies and corporations to set up pockets of law, and they would be sovereign, and this pocket of law over here and that pocket there for some reason wouldn't use force against each other and stuff. Well, look, let's look at where law comes from. If we go back into ancient Greece, they did not have laws against murder. That was considered an issue between families. Okay, if somebody murdered somebody, it was a family feud. Draco, I believe, I don't have the book with me, damn it. Draco, I believe, was the first to make laws against murder. And I believe that the first step in that was to create safe zones where they could go and talk, and they weren't allowed to fight or kill each other in those safe zones, like kind of like a court, so that the family members who were warring could come to a safety zone, and it was enforced by law. You're not allowed to do anything on punishment of the state. This is the leader of the state who says this. So he starts the movement against murder just being... Can you believe that? Murder was just a family issue. Bizarre. But at some point someone has to say, I've got jail cells and I've got iron rings, and I'm going to put anybody in there who kills anybody else. And at some point they did that. Now, even the simplest little thing like a parking ticket or something. Get a bunch of parking tickets, you're summoned to come before the judge, you don't come to your court date, they put a warrant out for your arrest, you get pulled over one day, the police say, we've got a warrant, come with us, you resist their arrest. Now this is just from a bunch of parking tickets and then skipping your court date, and now you're going to avoid arrest. You're going to put your car and drive and run from the police, or you're going to do something, try to get away. And if you keep going, and you shoot at them with a gun to try to stop them, or even if you don't shoot at them, you just try to get away, they can reach a point where they'll kill you, either by just pursuing you high-speed chase. I mean, they're going to take you into custody, and they might even kill you. You're risking it if you act like this, just over parking tickets. Okay, so that shows right there, law is backed by physical force. Stuart Hayashi did a thing on this called the invisible gun, but I think it's pretty visible. Every time you see a police car, at least every time I see a police car, I think to myself, those guns are aimed at the citizens, keeping the citizens in line, so to speak. I mean, not really. Like, the police never come around to gather taxes and stuff, but in a loose sense, it's true that the law is backed by physical force, even if it's not as barefaced in our society as it has been in some others, Russian and Soviet and so on, or German and Soviet and so on. Now, the thing that anarchists get confused about is that they think that law is based on initiating force, whereas proper law is a retaliation, not initiation. So, like the government in the United States, so let's assume the government in the United States, for example, has zero taxation, and we decide that we're going to leave the United States, immigrate somewhere else. So we move. Now, that if it had zero taxation and you could leave when you want, that is just exactly what the anarchists are talking about. They're just talking about a place where you can live voluntarily and nobody forces you to do anything. That's what we would have in America if we had a zero tax zone. They just think that, on the one hand, you couldn't have zero taxes, you'd have to tax people. So I don't know how their thing's gonna work. Or on the other hand, the thing that confuses them the most, I know this isn't supposed to be about anarchists, but the whole thing is, it's mostly the anarchists that are confused about the nature of law. The thing that gets the ball rolling with anarchy is that they say we can have a market and have profits and have people be efficient and have resources allocated more efficiently, you know, like private markets do, private economies do. We can have all that without the government background. But no, you can't. As soon as you take off the government background, someone's going to start using guns to take stuff from other people. The government background is what creates the private market and allows you to have profit and profitable exchange and efficiencies and so on. Without the government in the background stopping everybody with the constant threat of retaliatory force, not initiation of force, you understand? Because if you don't start it, the police are never going to come for you. So they're not initiating it, are they? They are retaliating with it. And law is physical force. Law requires guns and jails and policemen, an army to defend your borders. This is not directed at anarchists, just would-be objectivists or objectivists in study, to whom it might provide some food for thought. Law equals physical force.